Hello, hello, welcome back. The last episode of this week. And then I was posting an episode every day of this week for another whole week, 5 days a week. So I'm really happy that I did and I do what I promised myself. And I hope that you enjoy these episodes as well. At least for today, I want to talk about the quality of the life is the quality of the questions you ask yourself. What means that there is always an answer. There are more answers than problems. That's my strong belief. So, this teacher taught me that when you have, there's always an answer. So, the thing in life is to find the right question. As soon as you start asking the right question, you will for sure find the answer because the answers are already there. So that's the game of life. Find the right question. So if that's your strong belief, then the next question is, well, what are some 5 problem-solving questions I can ask myself? Well, I like to tell you those 5 problem-solving questions, and I like to explain them with an example of my own life because I think that's always works the best. Then you can see it immediately how it worked in my life, and you can see for yourself how it works in your life. All right, I want to talk about my first job I had. After I was at home for 10 years with my children, that was my biggest dream to be a stay at home mom. And after 10 years, I found out that I needed a little bit something else in my life. So I started to work outside of the house, and I loved it. I just loved working out of the house and have a little bit different things than just staying at home. It was good for me in my situation. Well, what happened after 7 years? I really, really, really loved the job I had. I had very nice colleagues, and I got along with them very well. I had a lot of opportunities to grow. So I really started to love this job so much that I started to believe that this job was just forever. I would never have to leave this job. That I knew they loved me, I knew I loved them. So why worry? No worries at all. So uh, I had so many opportunities to grow that I loved it. So, well, one of the things that one of the opportunities I had in that job is that I started to do work as HR, um, planning things, making things work for the employees. And I loved that part so much um, that I knew that I loved it. So I wanted to do more with that. And then all of a sudden, the news came that me and more colleagues had to leave the company because it was in bad weather and the finance were not good of the company. So me, together with a lot of other colleagues, had to leave. And this was really a hard time, especially when you start to believe that this is till the end of time, and it was not. So it was really a time of feeling, I don't know, just the feelings of loss was really big. I really knew that I would miss this job so much and I would miss my colleagues a lot. So I had to start asking myself some 5 problem-solving questions to get myself out of the situation into another situation that would help me move on, because I got stuck in the negative emotions and I wanted to get out. But how do I get out of this situation? Because there was no, I thought at that moment it was the end of my life and oh my God, I loved it so much, and oh, I will never find another job like this. I was in that mood. So that was not helping me move forward. So I started to ask myself the following questions. The first question was, what is great about this problem? Well, my first answer was nothing, completely nothing. There's nothing good in this situation. I will just miss this job for the rest of my life and there's nothing good. Then I started to ask a question again. And again the answer was nothing. And then I started to ask a question again. What's good? What's great about this problem? And I started to quiet my mind. And then I said, well, I have the time to write down what I liked about this job and what I didn't like. And what do I want in my next job? I have time to evaluate. That's great. Time to evaluate so that I can find out for myself what do I want in my other job. So I sat down and I wrote down the things that I learned, so things that I loved and things that I actually didn't like in my job. And when I found out about that, I realized that I loved the HR part so much that this was something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I thought, I love it. I love it so much. I want to do this. So I tried to apply for another job, of course. The first thing they asked me, do you have a certificate? And I said, well, no, I don't have a certificate, but I worked in it, so I know what to do. And they just said no. And every company would start to say no. So then I was like, great, this is not great. I lost my job. I don't have a certificate. This is not great. What's great about this situation? And then I found out maybe it is time for you to look for a course or an education. Yes, that's right. So I looked up on the internet, long live internet, love it, love Google. And I found a very nice education. I thought, this is what I love. So thanks to the occasion that I was fired, because they couldn't afford to keep me even though they loved me, it was time for me to learn new things, to go to do this new education. So that was great about this opportunity. And then I asked myself, well, what's not perfect? Well, the thing was not perfect. I had no papers. I didn't have the right papers, so I had to educate myself. So that's what I did. That was the second question. What's not perfect yet? Not the right papers. The third question I had to ask myself, what am I willing to do to make it the way I want it? Well, I was really willing to find a way to educate myself, to make sure that I was having the right papers, so I would be able to continue doing this work. So yes, I was completely willing to make it the way I wanted. The fourth question I had to ask myself, what am I willing to no longer do in order to make it the way I want it? Well, I was no longer willing to say, I have no education, so I'm sad and I'm broke for the rest of my life and I will never be able to find a job that I love, and all that sad thinking. I was done with that. I was willing to let go of that feeling, of that thinking. I was ready to move on. I was ready to think in more possibilities. I was ready to take the actions that was required to move on and to make sure that I would have the right papers and the right education so I would be able to do the job that I loved so much. So, the fifth question, the last question: how can I enjoy the process? Well, I do what is necessary to make it the way I want it. Well, enjoy the process. I after every course that after my graduation and before my graduation, I had small steps. I was taking small steps, and after I finished a step, I was celebrating like crazy. I was so happy and so proud of myself that, I mean, I was 38 when I started to study. I had 4 children living at home. Then the youngest was 9 years. It was just a crazy time. So I had to combine many things together. But I was so proud, so unbelievably proud that every time I finished a course and I was coming closer to my goal to finally have this paper. So I really enjoyed the way to get there. And no, it was not easy. And yes, I cried a lot when it was started to get really hard. And I had to find the solutions. I had to look for solutions all the time. Because you can imagine it was really busy. But I wanted it so desperately that I always found a way to reach my goal. And I celebrated it like crazy. And after that, I can just say it's worth living for your dream. And I can say from the bottom of my heart, life happens for me, not to me. When a door closes, a window opens. There's another opportunity. And those 5 questions help me to move on and find better ways and a better company and colleagues I loved. And so, yes, it helped me move on. And now that I have the right papers, I just love it. And first of all, I thought it was the end of my life. And now I can see it was the beginning of a new life. And you can answer those questions in every situation. In the situation of your divorce, in a situation of anything that can happen in your life. And many things happen in life. Life isn't always smooth and always easy, but it's worth living. It's worth to go for it. And I know that you're the captain of your ship. And I know that you decide. And I know when you decide to ask those 5 questions, you're ready to move on. And I know you have everything inside of you that you need to move on. I know that you can do it. I believe in you so much. Please believe in yourself. Give yourself a chance. Keep moving. Go forward and you will find out for yourself. Okay, that's it for today. And I hope you enjoy your weekend. It's Friday today when I post this. So enjoy your weekend. I'll be there on Monday again. And talk to you later. Bye bye.